High Court postpones Kanimoli's hearing of the bail plea to October 17th. The order of framing of charges is scheduled for 15th of the month. With no political backing but just a will to make Chennai a better place, these young professionals say, yes, we can. Senior citizens to ease their way in and out of post offices as dedicated banking counters will help with their banking needs. Time to sing and dance along as Kids for Kids with the pianists put up a memorable show for the Joy of Giving Week. It's a biryani face-off as foodies from around the city indulge in a gastronomic competition. Chennai's girl Deepika Palekar squashes her way into the Whisper Top 20 up by 4 notches. Finally, show us your Golus. NDTV Hindu visits homes in Chennai to showcase the best of the lot. A very good evening and welcome to NDTV Hindu's Late Night News with me, Dipti Kumar. Time to take a look at what's making headlines this Saturday evening. The arrest of Sanjeev Bhatt reflects the Modi government's political vendetta, says his lawyers. His wife fears for his life. BJP's Yashwant Sinha takes on Pranab Mukherjee on the 2G note issue and says he will raise it at the JPC. Mamata Banerjee and Maoists on a collision course. Now Maoists say talks and anti-Maoist operations cannot happen simultaneously. The first Indian Grand Prix promises to generate $88 crore. The car shows across cities and moves F1 lovers. Well, in a shocking incident, a hearing-impaired woman by the name of Kavita, who hails from Villupuram, had filed her nomination papers for the post of a ward councillor in her village, Navamal Kapari, but was reportedly rejected by the state election authorities on the basis of her disability. Now, after a huge public outcry, the collector and the district election officer approached the Handicapped Federation to directly take up the matter with the state election commissioner, Cho Iyer. Well, speaking to me earlier on the issue in our studio was the Vice President of the Tamil Nadu Handicapped Federation, Deepak. Here's what he had to say. Now, Deepak, could you give us a perspective of what actually ensued and what happened?
Well, this madam Kavita had applied for a position in the ward councillor, and that is interior to the Tamil Nadu state, the Villupuram district. What has happened is when they came to know, it was quite shocking that they are getting rejected for the very fact that she was citing their disability. That's something which is very, very shocking for us and for the disability sector entire. And when the world is talking about the rights of the disabled people, inclusion of the disabled people and their abilities and stuff like that, and somebody getting rejected for her disabilities, like, you know, I'm just thinking that we are getting back say about at least 100 years before. I think that's a kind of an idea I get on just learning about her rejection. So this is something very new, and the way they have addressed disability is very shocking, because once when we spoke to the state election commissioner, they said that that's their rules, and then I went on to browse the Tamil Nadu State Election Commission's website, and there was a handbook for the candidates, and that very specifically say a word called "sevittu umai," which is a very crude way of addressing a hearing impaired person, and we can't even call them hearing impaired. It's kind of hard to hear. That's the way we are trying to redefine ourselves, and especially in this part of the country, we call the disabled people as differently abled. That's something, the first kind of a thing which we call, and we say that we are very socially affirmative, and you suddenly call a person sevittu umai and all, and that's not I think, you know, unworthy of a stature of an election commission to call a disabled person like that.
Right. Also, the government has put in measures to help the differently abled people. They've mentioned different clauses in different laws and rules as well to inculcate in our everyday life.
True.
However, from the side as a federation, as well as representing the federation here today, what do you all probably see is probably lacking, or has it just remained on paper?
I think what is lacking is basically the attitude in the government authorities or the government functionaries and the bureaucrats, basically, because see, there are so many things happening at the national level, at the international level, and my worry is like, why are those things are not culminating to the states of Tamil Nadu, and it should come and reach the last person with disability.
Right.
You have something in the UNCRPD, United Nations Convention for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and that says in Article 29, it's something on the political life and the public life of the disabled people, and it very strongly encourages the states to ensure that the disabled people come into the public life. They should advocate for themselves.
Right.
There's no more charity. We are not objects of charity to be looked upon. We do have our abilities, we do have a right, we do have our duties as well. When we are coming out in a large way, I'm sure the Tamil Nadu should be celebrating that a woman with disability, that too inside the interior of Tamil Nadu, is coming so very long. In fact, I would say many women in Chennai have not come. I would say it's a great thing. Instead of celebrating, we are rejecting that something which I can't accept, and the wordings they have used. I think there is a lack of attitude in the government bureaucracy of a kind of understanding, perspective. So what is the social sector?
But what is the future for Ms. Kavita right now from Viluppuram?
Oh, it is very, very limited. I think all the media people should be able to help us, and we have just written to the Tamil Nadu State Election Commission to immediately lift that and give us a personal audience on Monday, because this is Saturday and Sunday are leave, and hope they give us an audience by Monday morning. And if this is not getting lifted and we are going to stage a demonstration, very peaceful demonstration, we learned from Anna Hazare. So we will have a but we will be very, very, very firm.
Right.
Very
all right, but also speaking on that note, Mr. Deepak, has this happened previously? Have you all faced any such discrimination previously, or is this the very first time that something like this has come
as the Vice President of the Tamil Nadu Disabled Federation, I have faced, or we all have faced, discrimination of different sorts. Something happening in the bus, something happening in the train. We have got manhandled. And we have written to the National Human Rights Commission. So discriminations have been happening at the employment front, marriage front, and everywhere it's happening. But I haven't heard of this kind of an discrimination in the electoral foray. With the Election Commission and couple of activists had gone for the Supreme Court of India, and that had come in support of us, saying that all the election booths have to be disabled friendly. So many things, and we still, this is something which is very grave, and I think we will fight it out.
What do you finally see probably as the way forward right now?
I think there should be a representation. In fact, the Constitution of India should get amended. That's what I would say. Article 14. Is
that probably the bigger message right now?
That's the biggest message. I think disabled people should get their share, and the word disability should be mentioned in the Article 14 to 16, which advocates and pronounces equality. So it says language, irrespective of language, caste, creed, gender, whatever it is, and everybody is equal. Where is the word of disability? It's not there. That's precisely why we are all having this much of discrimination. After all, everything happening in the international level, nothing has come to us, I would say.
Well, Mr. Deepak, all I can really tell you is we really hope that you all get justice in the causes that you're supporting. Thank you so much for coming by to the studio, taking time off your busy schedule, and joining us for this very discussion.
Thank you. I hope all the media also, people help us, the disabled people.
Well, come October 17th, and a special CBI court will take up the bail plea of DMK MP Kanimoli in the 2G case. The bail plea initially scheduled for today was postponed after lawyers of both Kanimoli and the CBI requested the court to issue another date for the hearing. Now, according to the Supreme Court, the framing of charges will have to be done ahead of the bail that would be granted. Special Judge O.P. Saini had also said that the CBI could frame the charges by October 15th. So the court will be ready to take up the bail plea of DMK MP Kanimoli as well as Kalinga TV MD Sharad Kumar. Now lodged in Tihar jail since May 20th following the rejection of her bail plea by Special Judge O.P. Saini, Kanimoli along with Sharad Kumar has approached the court for bail for the second time. Well, October 1st is special in many ways, and one such is the commemoration of the International Day for Senior Citizens. Now, to commemorate the day, dedicated counters for banking operations to senior citizens was inaugurated earlier this morning. Now, the concept of the day is aimed at promoting independence, participation and dignity of the old people. According to world reports, worldwide, now there are around 600 million persons who are above the age of 60. Now, this is expected to double by 2025 and will reach a virtual 2 billion by 2050. Now, older people's main concerns are basically on health, money, happiness and safety.
This is a great day where traditional organs like post office, which is looked to be a very colonial in terms of the ethos of the post office and all those things, has come out and built a bridge between people, the end users, and to understand what is the requirement, and giving a special attention to people who are otherwise not very well off in standing in queues and waiting. Opening a special counter will ameliorate their personal difficulties and save time. They go back more happily. This is to be more appreciated, and more of this kind should emanate in all post office so that the growing or aging population can be taken care. This is a good day and it's a great initiative by Post and Telegraph Department.
On this day of International Day of Older Persons, we are very happy to dedicate a separate banking counter for senior citizens at T Nagar HO. This is the second such counter in my division. Last year we opened at Mailapur. It was felt a very tremendous success. We hope to similar success at T Nagar HO. I salute all the senior citizens and our customers, valued customers of T Nagar Post on this happy day. And I always like to look forward similar cooperation and patronage from the senior citizens.
Well, 39 mayoral aspirants from Chennai and 3,445 candidates for the post of councillor will slug it out in the upcoming local body polls. Now, among these are many independent candidates. Now, in fact, many political parties view independents as a sore thumb who eat into their vote bank. But playing a solitary reaper in the elections needs a lot of guts and determination. Our reporter Krishnamurthy tells us what drives these independents to contest the polls even when the odds seem stacked against them. Meet Sarat Babu, IIM Ahmedabad graduate and CEO of Food King. But cut to his early years. Experienced hunger in his early years, this young man used to help his mother sell idlis on the pavement for a living. Determined to be an agent of change, Sarat took the political plunge in the 2009 Lok Sabha polls and managed an impressive 17,000 votes. He tried contesting again in the assembly polls this year, but drew a blank. Will this youngster who uses Facebook as a sounding board be third time lucky?
I want to show to youngsters that without spending money, it is possible to make a big dent as well as grow, each and every time. And at one point of time, definitely we will be able to make it. That's the point, I want to convey to the youngsters and make them to get into regular politics.
Statistics show that independents hardly manage to win elections. Blame it on the lack of manpower, which is the strength of candidates from a political party. But that does not dent their confidence. So this city infrastructure expert is also giving it a shot.
What voters in a local election look for is a candidate. When they see face to face, they are making a judgment. Will this man or woman pick my garbage? Will they, clean up my streets and make sure that my children are playing in a safe area? That is the key, and whether you are independent or whether you are a political party person, that's what you are going to be judged on. So I am very confident that independents will do fine, provided we are able to convince the voter that you know what you are talking about.
While candidates from political parties engage in colourful campaigns on the streets, owing to the money power, independents believe in garnering votes online.
So what I'm doing is like in Facebook, in Twitter, in emails. So all these things I'm using very cost-effective methods where people participation is very important. If you see in my Facebook page, which is started just 5 days back, I have already 32,000 people who have joined, and I'm sure confident out of the 20 lakh people who are in Facebook in Tamil Nadu, at least 2 to 3 lakh people will be able to bring in, and we don't spend any money.
So just how will the story of a few good men end? Participation, they say, is more important than winning. And that even if they lose, their service to society will go on. Should we say unlike the others? In Chennai, with Sanjay Pinto and Krishnamurthy, this is Dipti Kumar for NDTV Hindu. Well, moving on right now, earlier in the evening, the Tamil Nadu chapter of the Welfare Party of India launched itself in the city. The party, formed by the working professionals and educationists, was launched earlier in the year in April in Delhi. The party says that their main ideology is to bring change in the political culture and also impart a value-based change to the country. Now, they strive to create a government who would bridge the gap between the haves and have-nots. Time to slip into a quick break here on the Late Night News, but on the other side, from Bong to Kashmiri Bandas for Durga Puja, get creative. More of that when we return.